Hello everybody and welcome to Berringer, and today's subject is give me a sign. So today I'm going to show you, well tonight and tomorrow probably, I'm going to be showing you how to make advertising hoardings for your layout. And on my table here is a list of things you're going to need for your shopping list. The first thing you're going to need is a sheet, is a pack of A4. And this is a pack of 10, just from Ryman's, standard. And this is the weightiest and thickest card you could find, which is the 480 GSM, because it's nice and rigid, and that will give the rigidity that you're going to need, so when you stick your advertising it's not going to all just flop about. The next thing you're going to need is your cutting board. You're also going to need your pen. Me and my matchsticks, we're back again, and these are the extra long ones as compared to the standard ones, which is what I've been using for the paving. And like I said, the extra long ones are easily bought from any supermarket. I think I got these ones from Waitrose for about 90p or something like that. The next thing you're going to need is a pair of scissors, a set square, some rocket card glue, and last but no means is you're going to need your remote control for your hi-fi, and that is so you can listen to some music while you're actually doing the work and keep yourselves entertained while you're doing it, because it is a bit of a tedious job, as most things are which involve matchsticks. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you, take you to my computer. I don't know if you can see it. Ah, here we go. Right, okay, you can see my computer. Now, currently we're on Google, and if I go to Paint, you'll see that I've already got some of these images on my computer. Now, the way I did that was through going back to Google, and all I did was go to the section at the top of your screen which says Images. You click on the images, and then you stick, say for example in my case it was 80s adverts, for example, and you end up with all these pictures and images. And if you see one you like, you can just right click it and go to the save image as, and then what you'd do then is you'd save it, as you can see here, just save it to your desktop so it's easily accessible. That's the first thing you do. So you grab a load of images that you like, that you think you can use for your layout, and then you put it onto your desktop. Once you have it into your desktop, sorry, let me just get out of iTunes, as I can say. What I've done next was I actually created, under my pictures, and this is my Berringer folder, and I've created a separate folder for 80s adverts, and all these images that are here, if I just see if I can make it full size, all these pictures here are to do with all 80s adverts that I've found along the web. And then what I've done then is, if I go out of that, I went into Paint, which is part of my computer. I done where it says paste on the top right, you click on that and it says paste from, and then you can paste from your folder where you've saved your images for your adverts. Then what you do is you drag them onto your Paint, and then you can resize them, recrop them, and then what you do is you print them. Now once you print them, you end up with something like this. This is one that I've printed off that I'm going to be using. Then what you do, and what I've been doing is I've been printing out a load on on a 7x5. Sorry, give me a minute. So you've got these ones here as well, which I've cut out, all ready to go. Now for this particular one, I've already done this one. That's why I'm showing you this one. What you do is you put it onto your. The first thing you do is, if I just move the card out of the way from it, is you grab one of your extra long matchsticks. Then what you do is you take your knife, as you do, and you mark it right along there, so you've got the exact length. So it starts there, and you'd cut it there. And then what you do is you take another matchstick and you basically use this matchstick as a template to make sure that the other matchstick is the same length, so then you'll have the two lengths. Once you've done the two lengths, for example, if we just add another matchstick here and here, you then take your another matchstick, vertical, you place that right on there, like that, and then you have your line for your cut, which would be up here. And then you do the same on the other side, and then you'd have what you'd have then is you'd have your rectangular for your advert, if you see what I mean. Once you've got that, you then put your matchsticks onto your A4 bit of card, like this for example, which is just roughly, and then you just mark it out with your knife. What I did is I created a little L shape here, and then I used my set square to create the straight lines. Forgive my neighbours. And then what you then do is with your scissors you then cut your shape out, and then you'd end up with, say, something like this, like a rectangular piece of card like that, where your matchsticks would then sit. Sorry, excuse me. They would just sit like that. So you then put your rocket card glue, which is this thing here, and you just draw a rectangular line all the way around the card, and you'd sit the matchsticks onto it, and then you'd end up with something that looks like this. Now what should happen then next is that you should be able just to drop that in, and it should fit in perfectly. And if you see it like that, you've then got your advertising hoarding, and obviously what's left to do then is just to paint it, which is what I need to do, which is why it's stuck out, because I was just waiting for the glue to dry. And then you can paint it first before you stick the advertising on. And what I've done, which you can't really see from here, which you might see it, I've actually made a note of the advert, so Betamax, and that will allow me to remember which advertising hoarding goes with what picture, because they're all slightly different sizes. So that now sits in there like that, as you can probably see. Now if I just take it to my layout, you can then put that on there on the layout like that, and you can have one there, and all the rest of it. So that's how I'm making it, and it's very cheap, it's very easy, it's very quick, and like I said, you can have all sorts of ones. These are some of the vertical ones, the portrait ones, which I've done for the 80s, and again I've used the same method. So it's just like I said, it is a bit of a tedious job, but like I said, if you get the music going in the background, you'll get through it, as with most things. Now the other thing I need to point out to you as well is that I actually created a Welcome to Berringer sign, so let me show you that. Okay, another thing that I've done is I've created this Welcome to Berringer sign using my PC, and it's got the Network Southeast branding, and it's been inspired by Kensington Olympia, where I spent many happy hours as a kid with my bicycle cycling down to the station. I used to go down to the footbridge on the disused side and used to watch the trains go by, and on the footbridge that they had over there, the original signage was a London Underground symbol followed by Kensington Olympia, and then after that there was a BR logo followed by Intercity on it. But later on after it had a modernisation, the sign got changed and it said "Welcome to Kensington Olympia." So this is where I got the inspiration for doing this one, and I managed to get the Network South East logo in the same manner as the adverts, and that's through Google Images. I then saved it. I then put it in a corner and extended the line to create the line that goes all the way across, and to create that Network South East logo and feel to it.